Welcome to today's session of Viewer Levels. Before we get to the first submissions, which will be from Glitch and Koopa T583, we'll do a quick warm-up just to make sure everything is working and that everything looks and sounds good on your end. This is going to be a music level based on the Outset Island theme from the very beginning of The Wind Waker. Link platforming with music from The Wind Waker. Happy 35, Legend of Zelda. And yeah, totally expect that people submitting to viewer levels are kind of in multiple places at once sometimes, or just, oh, shield bump. This is going pretty quickly. Let's actually react to that accurately this time. Interesting pink coin right from the start. I guess it's from a key door that requires a clearing from the beginning, and of course we have to slap our way through those. It's the shield bump and the muncher that comes later. Okay. And then... no, I wanted to stomp there. I just missed the input. Came in a little late there. Things go blazing fast. And then... yeah, it's just at the startup... after you do the muncher bump, when you're slipping on the ice, can be quite hazardous. Art Pop, welcome. Now let's do this, and up we go. Nope, checkpoint is right there, but I kind of flubbed that a little bit. Once again, just slipping on the ice. No, you wouldn't give it a key if you... have some kind of requirement for... oh, because there is just one coin. Yeah, that's right. That's a good observation. No, let's bump that. Yeah, I only just realized when you pointed it out that it is this is the one and only key. Okay, let's not lose too much time to certain spots like that. Just do a little bit of a jump there. Make sure we get well out of the way. And yeah, it looks like we are actually going to be looping back here after checkpoint. For an elaboration... oh, no. No, let's do it from checkpoint, and then... we'll see how it goes. If it's fairly tractable, then we'll do it from the start for the key door. And let's do the dash. And, okay, that didn't go well. And, of course, this is a sword check right here. Interesting that you have SMB2 Mushroom right there as something that, theoretically, you could run into with a bit of a half-tile jump. And yeah, Art Pop, that's a good observation. That... oh, whoops. Music levels do have a way of just using up the budget. Oh. Yeah, I started over by mistake, but that's okay. We'll start over anyway, and that will be the key run. Only just noticed that. Nope, it's going to be a bump. And Koopa T, you would have had a troll level today, but your switch died during the clear check. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate for somebody. Okay. Yeah, I guess... the question block earlier was there to encourage you to make the jump. First section is easy enough that I think we actually will try to redo it if we die. And then, yeah, just gonna slap him. Slap this guy. And then, oh, that was not what I expected. I think I'm supposed to pick up SMB2 then, so I can actually stand on that. If I'm understanding that correctly. Which is maybe a little bit uncommon for a Link level, but why don't we see if we can do this properly first, and then... no, because it kills the SMB2 Mushroom. And you can just jump onto Mecha Koopa, you don't need to do that, but... Yeah, I just need to bounce on this a little bit better, I think. And probably do a downward strike on the red Koopa shell, but obviously not on Mecha. Nope, not like that. Obviously that just cuts through. Let's just bounce it. SMB2 was bait, yes, I know. We do see that now, having activated those hidden blocks a few times. I mean, not particularly attractive bait, given that you would have to be careful not to. Sure, let's start over. You'd have to be careful not to end up in that gap anyway if you were one tile high. Although if you make contact with the SMB2 mushroom, then you would do so before you're actually fully there, so it's probably okay. Okay, do a little jump here, and back we are. And hey, Furia, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, just getting warmed up here, making sure everything on the stream is functional. You know what? Yeah, we do need the Koopa, obviously. I didn't mean to just run through the guy. That's okay. Like I said, the early segment is simple enough that there's not much reason to just wait and start at checkpoint. May as well do this right. Slap this guy, then we slap the Koopa, and there we go. Slap the POWs, and no, obviously that's jumping off of the bone shell and then doing that in midair, so let's actually start over. The one and only time I actually obey a Z marker that is seen in front of me is when I do it too early. So, okay, let's get over here. That poison mushroom nearly fell on me. But luckily, we are still okay. Now, let's get in here, slap this guy once again, push the shell. Yeah, I just need nice high jumps. Nope. Had to fall into the shell, obviously. And that was just a miss. Okay, here we go again. Okay, at this point the pace here seems pretty good. Let's dash through before spending too long there. Slap this guy. And the same idea as before, let's not miss the shell this time. And we totally missed a door, okay. That's fine, the only thing there was probably just a... oh, never mind. We actually do get access to all this, which is nothing. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't actually have enough height to jump left or right there anyway. Another checkpoint. Whoops. I'm totally gonna get squished there. Okay, fine, let's not reset just yet. Let's do this segment first, just to see. I love how this actually is the Great Sea, that you're getting off of the pirate ship and going on an adventure. It's a nice way to start this off, and also have a little bit more thematic variety than you would often see in Night Grassland, rather, music levels, which after a while do begin to look a little like they're all the same. Nope, that's supposed to be a ground stomach. There's the King of Red Lions. And Nugukaza, welcome. Looking forward to Balloonapalooza. Right time of year for that. Okay. And Hyperion Smokestack, thank you so much for your renewed support. Always glad to see you here. Nope. So we hit the swamp. So yeah, there's enough going on in this segment on the Great Sea that perhaps we will not do the key route this time. I'll keep that in mind for some future stream, but since we do have a viewer queue to get to, I'll just beat this segment first. Okay, here we go. And up we go. Also, the kaboom from the alert, of course, is extremely appropriate to this level. Oh, no. Once again, not reading the marker. Down doesn't just mean go down. Down does mean that you need to stomp. But refer to what I said about not really knowing how to follow instructions. Okay, up we go. Nope, missed. Just missed the sword tap completely, so that will be death. Yeah, glitch, of course, this is a Wind Waker level, so having the checkpoint on the ship is just a reference to the original game. And yeah, considering that, you know, I find that even though for a couple of obvious reasons, Night Grassland is such a popular style for music auto-scrollers, you normally don't have this much mileage out of the aesthetics. Forgot about that thing again. Let's just take a quick death. So, Hyperion, yeah, really unfortunate to hear that you're down with the virus, and I hope you recover soon, but I guess all that XCOM is to Silver Lining. Do tell me how it's going, whether you're playing XCOM 2, or War of the Chosen, or Long War, or Chimera Squad, or whatever it is that's going on in your life. But yeah, really unfortunate to hear that you did come down with it. I think people have, at least where I've been, generally been a bit complacent about feeling like they're in the clear. You know, with everybody having received their vaccines at this point and starting to party a bit again. Whoop, starting to adapt to getting back into society. The down arrow is telling me that I should go inside a ship. We are missing the key, of course, so we cannot get into the head of the King of Red Lions over here. What is Wendy doing up there? I think maybe... Oh, probably just to tag the instrument at the end of this. Although, if we bop Wendy like that, what does that do? Just a little bonus, I think. Alright, let's head down. Melon Run, welcome. Furia, I don't actually have Skyward Sword HD yet. I don't know how soon I'll be playing it. I love Skyward Sword. I've always enjoyed it. Ever since I originally played it on the Wii, but I have been so packed lately in terms of my video game schedule that the HD ports, if I do it, will probably be some weeks off, possibly months. So I don't know if I'll stream it, but I'll definitely consider it at some point. So your interest is definitely noted. And Hyperion, you're doing Long War of the Chosen. Okay. Well, I mean, you've got the time to do it while you're in recovery. And thank you so much, Terminator, for the sub. Let's get right into the queue. So, just so you know, the subscriber status is not reflected in the levels that are already in the queue. If you do want to be given sub priority, you should leave and rejoin. But that's okay, the queue is short enough that it probably won't matter too much. Glitch, if you would like to check in quickly, we will do the older level that you mentioned. And let's punch that in. And here we go. Furia, if you've never played any Zelda game, I do recommend beginning with Link to the Past if you're exploring the ones that are available on the Switch Online service. The first two games that are on the NES are definitely worth your time at some point, but they're definitely much more of a challenging experience to get into first. And it's really in Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo that a lot of the conventions of the modern series start to crystallize, and it's also aged incredibly well. I recently replayed it, in fact, for the first time in a long time. Anyway, here's a Pauger time. Time to make the Paugers. So this is a glitch level from a little over a year ago, and we'll see how we do on it. And yeah, Hyperion, I actually haven't done the standard War of the Chosen campaign. I did play XCOM 2, but I just never went back to the expansion yet. It's just been on my to-do list forever and ever. So we can hit POWs on the way up, and I think maybe that's the idea, that you need to do something with that. I probably should have looked at what kind of gate we had here. Like whether we need to... Well, I mean, we need to kill something with the POWs in order to get the key, I think. Oh, no, I see what's going on. You need to send an object over to the left side. And it's not going to be me, I don't think, because I'd get trapped in a one-way panel, but some kind of object needs to walk over to the left after you stack the POWs in a certain order to create a continuous platform that allows something to drop down below. It's not going to be the Mecha Koopas, I think. I think it's probably something that I accidentally killed with the POWs. But the idea should be that you're going to stack something to create a bridge. Oh, but there's a key down here too, so what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at what this is first of all, just to see. That's just a coin, okay. So maybe not. Maybe it's something else that you need to escort down there. This is just a lock, so... You remade Burger Time. Do I know what Burger Time is? Anyway, so yeah, you need to send a red Koopa down. In order to send a red Koopa down, you should not activate any POWs. There is a red Koopa on the left side as well. And so, we will just lower every POW stack, I think, and create that bridge in good time. Burger Time, an old game from when you were a kid. I don't know if I am aware of it, now that you mention it. I also don't see why I can't just escort this Koopa onto a POW to the left and sink that down and block it. So, why do we need to deal with the Koopa on the right side? I don't know, and I don't think we actually do. We can, however, probably kick the mechas around if we want another object to land in that location. We accidentally killed the Koopa. See, so we can create a bridge here. Koopa walks across the bridge. We need to not hit the POWs. And then we just... Yeah, the way things are looking here, I feel like we just do not activate any of the POWs and create the bridge. The issue is that here, as you can see, a Koopa is going to walk all the way there, and I'm also going to be blocked from going any further down, rather. So I don't want to do that. I do want there to be some kind of partial release, such that the bridge is not totally completed. And yeah, Hyperion, I know we were kind of discussing XCOM at some point. I mean, if people kind of looked like the tempo and cadence of my puzzle streams here, I guess I should actually stream turn-based strategy eventually. Given that it is one of my core genres, I don't really tend to stream it just because, you know, I think that sometimes my pace of play might not be the best viewing experience, but... We'll see. I really should do some kind of tactics stream. Maybe when Advance Wars comes out, for sure. But yeah, XCOM would be tons of fun. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. I want to lower the Koopa. But in order to do that, I actually want to probably lower the left side. This guy's really annoying. Let's get rid of him. Nope, accidentally hit the POW. Okay. And one came in. Congratulations for getting 100% on all of 3D All-Stars. I don't know if you saved a Champion's Road with all 5 characters for last, or if you did Bowser's Fury last, or... Oh no, 3D All-Stars, not 3D World. Okay, 3D All-Stars. Yeah, congratulations on that. Don't know if you did them just in the release order of 64 Sunshine Galaxy, or if you did it some other way. But regardless, sounds like a great time. What we should do is not worry too much about Red Koopa and maybe try to kick the mecha over. It is a little bit tricky to plan this while I'm dodging at the same time, but if I have a 2-POW stack that goes all the way to the bottom, I'm able to kick the mecha down on top of a 2-tile platform and kick it over to the right. That's probably going to be the plan. That we very carefully go over here. Not with that mecha on top, though. We need to kick it out of the way first. So that's how we're going to do it. I need to create a stack on the bottom that is a complete stack, not with hitting the POW, of course. And actually there's that clear condition of collecting the 1 coin, which means that you do in fact need to walk the Koopa across, or some other thing across. Actually, this Koopa, when it walks across, it's going to be fine, so... Never mind that, we can actually just kill the mecha, I think, with no particular penalty. The issue is that I do still need to get back down here afterwards, after getting rid of all that, so... Okay. Probably not the way we want to do things, but... Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, so the POW collision is actually going to push the mecha up, which is great because it means that I can kick it over like that, and that resolves that guy. So now we lower everything else in this order right here. No, except I didn't manage to drop these guys. That's a bit of an issue. I may need to restart this because I now don't have a way to drop the bottom one. Oh, yes I do. It's the donut block over here. That's fine. We're not locked. I dropped the entire top stack now. And then we drop everything from the left. There we go. Let everything fire first and hopefully not kill the Koopa. Okay. And you're still missing 2 blue coins on your Sunshine Disc. Yeah, that's exactly why I never completed Sunshine to 100%. Because I'm also somebody who just doesn't look things up. And with Sunshine, it's also difficult to track what you've obtained already. Yeah, I've done 100% in every 3D Mario game since, but I also think that 100% has been much more meaningfully designed in every game since, like all the way since Galaxy. Okay, Mecha is just going to get pushed out of the way. Now we need to kick something else over then. That's fine, we can do it. Except that Mecha also died. Never mind. Alright, that was a disaster. Okay. Let's get out of here. And once again, let's do left side first. That's not what I did, of course, but... yeah, once again, we know that if we don't kill the mechas, we can actually escort them across. stack this, and then we'll drop everything here, and then kick this guy over. There we go. Now, let's just do everything up here. Nope. And Melon Run, I recently did that actually on the 3D World re-release, and no, I didn't actually find it too repetitive, to be honest. It's actually an interesting way to learn the speedrun side of the game, because you're so eager to just not deal with any of the bonus coins or anything and just go straight for the clear, which is not how the first play tends to work, or even the second play to mop up some collection of green coins. And so I found that I actually learned a lot of speed techniques in 3D World, even as somebody who's not temperamentally a speedrunner, just because of that requirement to go through it 5 times. I never did it originally on Wii U because I played co-op on Wii U for the most part, and that fills in the character sheet really quickly. And also, as some of you may recall, I did stream doing the entire endgame with 5 characters, and the differences in their mechanics really do matter for that, and so that was actually really satisfying to achieve, in terms of learning each of those minute individual differences and how they can handle the final level. Okay, we need to not get trapped here, and to do that we need to drop out on this side first. Okay. Now, let's do that. This whole level is just sort of an exercise in caution. Not kill the Koopa. Drop that. Great. Great. That's going well. Okay, that could have gone better, but that's okay. We're not in too much peril just yet. And Troxa, welcome. Thanks for plants and platforms and poison. Okay. No, we don't want to do that. We want to create that left bridge first. Let's see how we can do it. I mean, I have the right idea in terms of my strategy for this level. It's just that the execution is something that you have to tread very carefully with in order to do it correctly. And, oh, I'm also missing now the mecha that I wanted because it died to another cannon shot. So we'll have to be extra careful here. Because I want to escort that Koopa across, but if I escort that Koopa across, then how do I get back down? That's the issue. I think I have to restart. I do need the mecha to be the thing that I sent to the left, as far as I know, because I don't see a way to get back down if I create the entire bridge on the middle level. Because the whole point is to have that blocked off for the Koopa to get across. So the Koopa is not going to be the answer. I really don't see that it can be. Kicking this guy, though, and lowering the other platforms, however, does seem to work out pretty well. Okay. So this little POW displacement here, with the mecha going up above the platforms, is something that I think would be really important to know for puzzle purposes. I've seen it in a few contexts before, but not used that often. The fact that it's not crushed and the fact that it just gets pushed up is pretty important. I actually have played with this POW interaction in the editor before for something that has yet to be released. But yeah, very valuable to know. That's fine. We don't actually need that on that side. We don't need it to be elevated. So yeah, we've gotten very close a couple times. You think I can do it with the Koopa. I don't see how to get down, though, if you create the bridge completely. Like, if you do the middle bridge... Oh, I think I see how you can do it, actually. By leaving a slot open, because if you hit the Koopa shell and send it across, it's going to go over a one-tile gap. Okay, that's how you do it. You just leave this one open. Yeah, because if you just decide to get over on the right side and leave a one-tile gap, that should be fine. But anyway, I like my current method because at least you get the mecha on the left in a predictable position. And I much prefer that. No, don't kill it, don't kill it. Okay, there we go. Now, let's drop this so we make sure we have a way to get back down. And then... we'll just gradually get all of these guys out of there. Okay. Almost there. Actually, that's going to be somewhat convenient because this guy, this Koopa, is going to do our job for us. There we go. And that's a clear. And yeah, I'm glad that there are multiple strategies available for that one glitch. The projectiles were a little bit dense, I think, when coming in from both sides, but particularly because you do have to be fairly careful about not hitting the POWs in the first place. But it's a nice concept. I've seen a couple of POW drop or stump drop concepts that involve building bridges before, but this is, in terms of having multiple layers going on, something that's quite unique, I think, in terms of its verticality. Okay, glitch is a sub, so we'll go straight next for this next call up here, then we'll go sub next after that. So Koopa T583, if you would like to check in, please do. And we'll pull up your level, and then we will get over to whatever you have offered us this time. In the meantime, I'm just going to catch up a little bit in chat in case we missed anything. Hello to everybody who I didn't greet properly as they came in, including Spirit Wolf, all of those emotes that you're bringing in with you. And thank you for all of the submissions from people who have joined the queue so far. If we don't have a check-in from Koopa T, then next will be Art Pop. But we will give Koopa T a moment first in case there are any technical issues on their end. I actually do still see Koopa T on the chat list, so we may just bump them back a spot in case they're AFK. So, in the absence of that, Art Pop, if you would like to check in, we'll pull yours up. And the glitch, thank you for coming by today. We will see you around soon enough. And Art Pop, are you here? If we have multiple people who are actually listed as being here who are just lurking, next will be Nukukaza if this is not happening, so just give me one moment while we try to do a little bit of rearrangement here. And like I said, after that, we'll pull up Subnext with Terminator, I believe. And yeah, just one moment. I'm just doing some stuff in the back end to make this actually work. Nukaza, I know you're actually here, so we'll do yours next. And I'll punch that in just one moment while I do a little bit of juggling with the people behind you. So yeah, if people are lurking or AFK or not checking in, but are supposedly here according to Twitch, I'll do a second call for you later. After the second call, I do remove from the queue, just to keep things simple. Okay, time for some P-Balloons. And thank you, Spirit Wolf, for the submission. Okay, so Nugukaza, we did finish this one. We can play something else, unless there's something else specific you want to look at. I thought you submitted Balloonapalooza, actually. Yeah, Nugukaza, something has been up lately with the completion statistics, where I know that there has been a little bit of a discrepancy in some of the clears and likes that I've seen elsewhere as well, so. Yeah, this was the original one that you gave me anyway, has 0.04% precision. As you know, we're not going to clear it, but we can see what it is. Always interested in new text, so clip into position using semi-solids at full speed. Very interesting. You might have to remind me of that if I'm doing it wrong. Clip into semi-solids using what at full speed? Like, what do we do? Let me read the description one more time. Let's see this. Clip into position using the semi-solids at full speed. I mean, wouldn't I just bump on top of the semi-solids to align myself? Or what do I need to do at full speed then? Like, I know it's kind of speed precision here, but clip into the semi-solids at full speed, huh? Hold right and boost the entire time, then tap up to get close to the semi-solid and it will clip in. Okay. Tap up to get close to the semi-solid. So do I tap up when I intersect with semi-solid on the left side? Is that what's going on here? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I do see that that actually worked on the first one. Yeah, it actually did work on the first one. I didn't quite pay enough attention to my timing there to reproduce this, but that was a little bit over. But no, I see very clearly what happened. Actually, using it in any kind of level design might be a bit of a challenge, but... You know, given that this is such a very specific and obscure interaction that would involve the intersection of precision and speed, which... like, I mean, I don't really know how to scale this up to any kind of meaningful level design, to be honest. But it's just a little engine trick that I guess we're now aware of. And, well, I mean, you know, Nugukaza, like, as you probably know, most people are quite far behind what you do with the P-Balloon, so it's not really a surprise that you would be pushing it into pretty new territory at this point. But it's nice to have these things documented and displayed, though, as a proof of concept, even if you can't really squeeze much level design out of it. Yeah, it's something about the diagonal. I'm going a little bit early there, of course, as you can see, but I'm also wary of going too late. Right around this corner. No, too late this time. I am missing the window of opportunity over there. Okay. Yeah, I do see that clipping motion. But the second tap has a really tight window of opportunity by the looks of it. Unless I'm supposed to do like a double tap to get in from the middle position or something. No, that's too late. So. Let's see what we can do with this. Right around the corner there. Nope, still too low. Yeah, I find that the spike that's constraining me before the second one, like on the top left corner of the second rainbow semi-solid, is making that space really tight in terms of where I'm allowed to tap up. Because here I've got a little bit of wiggle room. Here, I feel like I'm going to bump it. Oh, it is a double tap. Okay, it is a double tap. It is pretty satisfying, actually. Surprisingly so. Just to get that working. But... okay. Yeah, it seems like I actually do need 2 taps then on that one. I've done it successfully once, but... yeah, it's surprisingly tactile to just get bumped off on the top. But you do need to be facing right at that time that it does that, otherwise you just ram right into the spikes when you're still traveling along a diagonal, so... let's see if we can make that happen. First one is looking consistent at least, second one not so much. Because I am still on a diagonal during the boost. That's late. Well, we'll try to at least get past the second one. I think 20 seconds is maybe a little bit of a tall order here in terms of consistency, but... if we can actually get past the second, or even third one again, that will be progress. Must be interesting to look at the death marker statistics for a level like this. Oh, one-way panel. Yeah, doing this in reverse, I guess. So, what is it? Do you clip through the downwards one-way panels in the same way? Is that the idea? That you kind of have a halfway collision and do the same thing? Hey, we actually made a meaningful piece of progress there, so... same thing going down, okay. Well, we'll see if we can do anything useful with that. I was surprised that the upwards ones went that smoothly that time. That was uncommonly good. And okay. Yeah, as you know, precise adjustments are not really my forte. So we'll see what we can do with this. And nope, not so much. Anyway, that was a pretty substantial chunk of progress, so I'm glad I actually got to show off that much of this instead of just crashing against the first rainbow over and over. Or the second rainbow, I suppose. First rainbow. So yeah, New Kaza, obviously, we won't spend too long on this one, but it's nice to see the concept. I don't quite have the consistency to reproduce what I managed to do earlier, so I'm just glad I saw it. And Hyperion, yeah, get some sleep, very important too. Just rest up as much as you can when you're not losing your squad too. A 95% miss. And let's see here. And yes, Nugukaza, that's very true that the clear rate is quite low, partly because of this very quick turnaround time, like every 2 seconds or so. And thank you so much, Hyperion, for the cheers, as always. I really appreciate your continued support. And enjoy the bit badge. Oops. Okay, let's see. We can round this corner. No, yeah, like I said, second tap is kind of necessary there. Yeah, second tap. I need to go up just a little bit further there and then kind of go along the diagonal. I feel like I actually do have a consistent method for the second one now. You see? Just like that. Third one, not so much. But the second one, I feel like I actually learned properly. Puzzle stream went pretty well, actually, for the most part. I got through a whole bunch of things really quickly, and then I got stuck on the last one for about an hour. Which was, of course, coinciding with when some other streamers started raiding me. And so the people who came in late just had to take my word for it that I was in fact clearing levels that day, and clearing them pretty well. But yeah, the one that I got stuck on at the end, I think it has some kind of item collision jack that I don't actually know, and so I didn't really have the resources to progress very far on it, despite staring at it for about an hour. But the other puzzles we did before that went really well. I think we saw some pretty interesting concepts. Some interesting twists. Let's see if we can kind of apply that consistent method to the second one here. And almost. But the second tap does do the trick there. It's just that with the first one over here, you start a little bit centered to begin with when you just head straight right. Yeah, so that works. That does not work. And then it's just one-way panels, as we saw before. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Nugukaza. Sure, let's inflict it on people in Endless. I think they would know well enough to skip. I love how there's a TP question mark there. So yeah, it looks like we were right at the halfway point in terms of hitting the first downward one, and then it's just kind of a mix and match of the concepts you had seen before as a bit of a consistency check. Although who knows what surprise lay in store at the very end where there is a very quick up and down. So very interesting that the world record holder, well, I mean, 7F Hawk we know is somebody who actually does master your people and content. Notice that he wound up about a frame ahead of you in terms of the clear time. Yeah, you feel bad for the no-skip super expert players. I mean, that's when they hit the end. Let's mark that as a loss and pull up sub next. Terminator, if you are here, please check in. I know you did say you were lurking. But just making sure you're here to see the level being played. Then after that, we will have the second call for Koopa T. So, all right, let's take a look at YR8 262 JFG. Okay, Anti-Master Sword Trial bonus. So this is a throwback. Avoid all swords for heaven's sake. So, yeah. So this is kind of a continuation of your original Anti-Master Sword series where you don't touch the sword. And we'll keep that condition in mind. Goal is Fire Mario, so like I said, don't touch the sword. Let's see here. Okay. Same idea that was seen many times before, except we need to keep the jumps nice and low so we don't collide with anything. So we go over each single block. And then, nope. And then we need to beat the shell. Okay, just gonna scout ahead to see what we're dealing with here. I guess the P blocks probably refer to places where you want to shoot the fire flower, because that would allow you to get over to pokies, for instance, when we had a double shot much earlier on. And then, yeah, because if you have a shot here, that would be a bomb ignition, which would give you the P switch, and then you get out of here. Okay. I think that's understandable. Okay, nope. Let's not just jump anywhere we like. We do need to take a look at this carefully. Then... okay, too high there. So we've missed that condition, but let's see if we can beat the sword anyway. Because if we can beat the sword, that's going to be a start. And then, yeah, so that's the problem. That you need to get up here really quickly, or you'd lose to that one. And so I think I need to find a particular pattern that's going to allow me to do that, just to get up to donut blocks before the icicle hits. Couldn't I use one of Link's bombs? No, because the clear condition is to reach the goal as Fire Mario. The clear condition is not to just damage yourself out. And so I guess that would be enforced by the lack of some Fire Flower later on. Furia, to answer that question. Yeah, so that's how it is controlled. Anyway, let's do that. Stay nice and low. Yeah, not too fond of these spikes over here. You need to do a very controlled jump at high speeds, and so it's a little bit difficult to see coming and plan around, I think. But we'll take that for what it is and try to do better. Also, the Pokies take a while to die. And yeah, Melon Rind, there's a whole series of these that Terminator made last year. I used to play through quite a few of the older ones when he submitted them to the stream. There's a lot of different variations on an avoid the sword concept. But yeah, Terminator has a couple of different series of levels that use the Master Sword in a very unorthodox way in terms of how you interact with the power-up itself. Okay. Not quite. Just need to recover after that shot and jump right at the very end. Okay. Electro Dude, welcome. Okay, let's see how we do here. Nope. The issue with that is that you have 3 inputs in very quick succession. You have to shoot the Goomba, you have to jump over the spike, and then you need to recover well enough to make the jump over to that single block after that, so... it's a sequence that is much trickier in action than it looks. Particularly if you have my habit of just slipping over every available corner. Alright, forward we go. Yeah, I just need to control that a bit. You actually do need to pull back a little bit on a jump, in fact. I think timing-wise, from what we saw earlier, it's not too difficult to stay ahead of those swords. The issue is staying ahead of the last sword at the very end when you go past the icicle. Okay. And that's timed around this shell over here, so it's not actually... yeah, that's difficult. That right here. Nope, can't quite cheese that, but... I mean, we're not going to hit the clear condition anyway, but I was kind of curious about that, so... Yeah, the icicle bit I really have to rethink. Maybe I do need to catch the icicle as it's falling instead of going up the donut blocks. But I'm definitely doing that a little bit too slowly. And this shell before us right now isn't going to matter because it's synchronized around this one instead. No, you can just go directly up, actually. Okay, that's what you do. You don't go up the left side at all. It is a bit of a diversion. Yeah, so I think the left side is actually a bit of a trick here. Although, of course, when you go up to right side, you don't really have visibility over where you're going, so I am thinking about that to see how the timing is going to work out there. But obviously, we should clearly just go to the right side, stay to the right of the icicle, hopefully without getting hit. No, the way I'm seeing it, you don't need to hop on the ice at all. You should just be able to dash on the block and go up that number of tiles. Unless you can't do that quickly enough to avoid getting hit by the icicle on its way down. So yeah, some controlled jumps over here as we try to avoid some of these spikes. You can't just crank all the way forward, you do need to bend the jump a little bit on each of those elements. Okay. Nope. We are getting closer, though. At least through this segment. We don't know yet if there's a... there won't be a checkpoint in second segment, obviously, because of the clear condition, but we'll see how much more there is once we manage to get out of the P-switch control door. Which itself has a bit of a fire condition attached to it because of the bomb activation. Okay, there we go. There we go, you see? No need to deal with any of that. Okay, P-switch activation. And there we go. And there's more, and it's 1-ups. Okay, good. Unless there's anything like a troll sword at the very end. Luckily not. So yeah, because the icicle starts at the same level as the block that's to the right, I feel like I would not really have had time to go up the icicle, in fact. And that's doing that jump all the way up top is really the only way to go at my pace, but obviously this guy with a 28-second record knows something I don't in terms of skipping over quite a bit more. I did kind of take my time to fire the fire flower at the end, though, so... Not 9 seconds longer, though. So clearly, lots of room for optimization. Let's mark that as a win. And thank you again for that, Terminator. And thank you to chat for all the GGs. This is going to be second and final call for Koopa T. Before we put Koopa T in the ejection seat. I'm just going to give Koopa T a moment here to respond. Then we will do a quick removal. And thank you for that, Terminator. As you know, my policy is that I'm not going to be doing repeats with Subnext all that quickly, so we'll go down to queue a few slots first, and we'll see how we do. But we'll pull you back in soon enough, I'm sure, depending on how we're doing in terms of stream time. So, Art Pop, if you are still here. Great. Thank you for checking in on the second call. And looking forward to Puzzle House. Okay, lots of jumping all over the place. Let's skip the jumping and head down to Puzzle House. Can I solve the puzzle to this totally ordinary house? I see Grakowski has already been on this one. Well, let's take a look. This is from just a few weeks ago, early July. Reached the goal without landing after leaving the ground, so basically a Captain Toad style puzzle, perhaps. So we have a boo here. And what that's all about. Let's see if the doors are just here for symmetry or if they lead to different places. Symmetry, okay. Here's the moon from Majora's Mask, for some reason. Okay, and it basically is a Captain Toad level. We just need to make sure that the lifts set us down gently every time we take one of them. Let's take a look at this first to see the objective. The objective is going to be to use a donut block to drop down on top of the key door while we have the key, which is from the top left. There is a reset door on the right side in case things drop out in inconvenient places or if we need to do any kind of item transport. Key switches, of which there are 2, will drop the spring on the right side and also open a P door, which will allow you to go from the left side to the right side without much trouble. Actually, no, you can reverse through both sides, in fact, because the P door will reset the P switch positions. We currently don't see a way to get to the POW on the left side because that requires an on-off switch to activate, which we know how to do because we use the thwomp. Now, what do I actually need the POWs for? The POW is going to kill the muncher that's on the top left, as well as the muncher that is to the right of the thwomp. And I don't know what this muncher actually does, but let's grab the POW block and find out. Okay. We need to be set down gently as much as possible so we don't fall off the platforms. And as you can see, you do need another state change to complete this bridge up here. I think what's going to happen is that you use the POW blocks to create a bridge over the 2-tile slot that is here to the right. If you grab the left POW block, you cycle back up, you create part 1 of the bridge. You actually only need 1 POW block to do it because a soft drop in a POW block should place it in the middle of that segment. Yeah, so 1 POW block will give you the bridge. Set ourselves gently down once again. And then it's the second POW block that's going to get you over to Muncher. Now this should not activate the condition. Good, good, good. Now we don't want to get pushed towards a ceiling ever because that will fail the condition. So let's be really careful here. And think about what we want to do with the P. So here we see that the POW block is going to get you to a dead end unless you activate the on-off switch first. We've created a bridge already, so what we need to do is grab the P now, because otherwise we won't have access to it later. This is a complication. Yeah, that's a complication. No, that's not what you do. You need to grab the POW block and then... Well, let's take a moment to scout this first of all. We failed the condition, but I just want to see what to do here. So maybe we don't go this way yet. I feel like something like a P-switch activation followed by an up throw to unbalance the seesaw might be what we want. If you unbalance the seesaw, then you're able to get onto the seesaw without any kind of jump. You would need a P-switch active in order to do that, though. So, not only would you need a E, but here's something interesting that you can do. You can... whoops, I accidentally destroyed it. I was hoping to do P plus POW to create a bridge over this. And you should be able to do that, because POW stacks neatly on top of the P. The other thing you can do, I'm thinking about the spring there too, in terms of what the spring is actually going to be useful for, assuming that we can actually get down there. Because let's say POW gets you down like this. Eventually, yeah, you do need to come around this side in order to have a nice graceful drop down here. The question is... No, we're not actually able to do that. So once you grab the P, then what happens? This is something that's a little uncertain right now in terms of how to do this part. Okay, we'll think about that, because this is a bit of a sticking point. Suppose we don't use the POW here right away. And suppose we bring the POW down. Yeah, once you retrieve the POW, you should switch to the on state right away, because if you switch to the on state right away, you're able to continue over here with the second POW. Okay. That's the adjustment we need to make to our current course of action. Alright, let's do this again. We need to toggle this. We grab the POW, then we activate the on-off switch again. And that's the thing that's going to be the next step here. Yeah, let's make sure the platform is up so we don't get into too much trouble with it. This is going to raise me up, and then now I have access to both POWs, eventually. Great. If I access that POW, then I'm able to drop back down to the lower level, activate the on-off switch again, which will give me the bridge over to the P. That will be important because then you can set the other POW down on the bottom right and carry the P switch across, maybe. Eventually, it will be P switch activation plus up throw to access this area here. The up throw you have to do with the spring. Or the other P switch, but probably the spring, because you can't carry the P switch that's dangling upside down. Because an up throw on the POW is going to destroy the POW. So you have to have a P switch activation while you're carrying the spring, or while you have access to the spring. You toss the spring up, and then you run across and you grab the key. So I don't know yet how this switch is going to go. It might have something to do with the switch activation, where I feel like it's going to be something like this, where you activate this P switch with something like an up throw, for instance, and then you hit this, and that warps you to the other side. When it warps you to the other side, then you need to have another object in hand. But then you can warp instantly to the right side and carry an object with you up that side. So eventually we will want to probably carry the spring over here, up throw with the spring into the muncher. The muncher is going to hit the P. You enter this door, you exit out the other door, you throw the spring onto the right side of the seesaw, then you go up and grab the key. So, current objective is to grab the spring as an object that we can carry. We should know how to do that, I think. You activate the switch, get it back onto the on state, and then create a situation where I'm able to swap the POW and the P on the right side. So you actually do not kill the muncher with the POW. You use the POW exclusively for these bridges, until of course the POW is reset. No, don't want to do it like that, obviously. Let's just watch that order once again. Okay, Up we go. So now we've got to be careful. We have to probably drop one object. Well, I need to trade these two out. Dump the P on the left side. Create the POW bridge, then go back up for the P. I hope that's enough room. No, it's not. That was just a mistake then. Actually, no, I should have just walked it. The issue was that I was clipping into the top right corner of that, and it was creating problems. But I'll just, since we have time on this attempt, I'll just map out the rest of the solution. We walk. Yeah, you have to do a standard walk over. The question then is, let's test this now, whether holding down the run button with the P is going to get me into any trouble with the POW block. It shouldn't. Good, because then we can come back down here. No, we actually need to hit the P, though, which is something that we can do using this muncher. That's what the muncher is for. Once we have the muncher, we don't care about that P-switch activation. We just need to get all the way back up top. We do that with the on state. Could I place it from the other side? Oh, I guess I could. Yeah, that's true. I didn't actually need to go over to the P-switch first. That's a very good observation. But if I'm correct, this is how it's going to work. I'm just going to map this out so we don't run into any uncomfortable surprises later. Also, I noticed that this looks like a one-way panel to prevent... Oh, any of those... no, it's not a one-way panel. It's just a glowing background. No, because I was thinking... none of these thrown items are going to collect a key for you, so... Tap this. Come over here. We tap this. And then we walk across gently. And then we grab the key, and then we go back down, and then... That gives me everything I need to get over to the key door. So, however, one complication we need to keep in mind is that when you reset through the P door, you need a new POW block. You need to drop this and you need to create a new POW bridge. This is something that I should not forget when we come back over here. And then when I come back down like that, we actually do still need a second POW, I want to say. No, we shouldn't. And then we'll be able to go through here. So let's do that again. This time we'll meet to the clear condition. But I want to see if there are any surprises at the end first. Okay. No surprises, just a lot of jumping that we're technically not allowed to do. So we can get stuck in places like this. And start over. Okay, we have the solution. We just need to execute it at this point. I don't think there are any other surprises with the clear condition in terms of how the fall is detected. So let's just do it. Okay, left we go. Now block. And flip this again. And we'll head up and create the first bridge. And yeah, let's let the platform go down first. Just to avoid complications. Did I forget something? No, I didn't. Okay. That's fine then. We will now come across here. Okay, good. That's not going to cause any issues. Nope. Okay. Yeah, we need to be careful with that. That's exactly the sort of ceiling interaction that we do not want to die to, so... And document, happy 1:19 a.m. to you as well, if you are in Central Time, I suppose. Okay. Let's have this and let's go. And yeah, Art Pop, I was wondering about that ceiling push. That was a bit of a concern all along. And so we'll see. We'll see which method is actually going to be better in terms of having a nice, easy placement of that second POW. But in the meantime, I feel like the sort of solution finding element of this level has been accounted for. Just need to be a little bit more precise about the actual POW placement. That's okay, I'd rather cycle back than have any other issues, so. And the off state is actually what we need in order to get the P-switch up top, so that works out. We should, in fact, have done it that way to begin with. Okay, everything here is fairly clear at this point. We use the P-switch to cycle around, we toss it into the muncher, grab this guy, and do we want red blocks? Yes, we do. Because now we come across here, and then, oh whoops, didn't actually get pushed up to the platform for some reason. Let's get back over here, wrap around, and now let's not forget that I do need to rebuild the POW bridge. So let's toss this guy. And rebuilding the POW bridge should be the only thing I need to do. I don't think there are any other surprises coming. And there we go. Let's not make the mistake of trying to jump up to the top of the gate on this platform that's clearly here to throw you off. It would be hilarious if you actually did have anybody try to jump on top of the platform to go for the one-up, though. Don't know if you've had somebody actually do that in playtesting, but I was very, very tempted. Thank you for that. And I guess I was only ahead of Grokowski's record by a few seconds. I think his was also around 2 minute 30 or so, so. Very ordinary house. A lot of the usual suspects here. Mark that as a win. And like I said, since I did pull Terminator from sub next already, we'll do a couple of other next in the queue at first. Beginning with Melon Rhine. Art Pop, that was quite a fun one actually. I'm glad that it was one of those puzzles that you could actually just sort of map out in your head as you go. And that it was very clear what kind of adjustments needed to be made as you went along. And also a couple of things that were surprising, like, you know, when you see a muncher like that, one of the first things you think is, okay, we might eliminate it with the POW, and then as you look at the item budget you have available, you realize that that's not actually going to be it at all. So... And of course, the bit with the P-door, creating a situation where you need to rebuild the POW bridge is the kind of last-minute twist that you can avoid if you are paying attention, but which adds a complication at the very end in a neat way that's still fair. So I thought it was actually quite well done. Melon Rhine has just said GG, so... Melon Rhine alias Gilmore. So let's take a look. And yeah, it was nice that nothing in that puzzle was really execution dependent, as long as you don't bump your head on the ceiling. If you know what to do, you can just go ahead and do it without too much pixel level item adjustment. Here's Liquidy Waters, very recent level by Gilmore, with some cool gimmicks. Expertish difficulty. Invert colors for trippy mode. Oh, you mean in the Switch settings. My current controller doesn't have the home button. Give me one moment. And let's see if we can make that happen. Just give me one moment here. I know some people do this as a stream reward sometimes. I need to find this in my system settings first. Just give me a minute while I see what I can do. Because I never really do this, but I know that it's in here somewhere. TV settings, system settings. Okay, I think I've got it. There's nothing level specific about it. Also, the level is 2019. Oh, okay. Totally misread that. Let's do it. I never really pull this in. We should actually put it in as a channel reward or something, but sometimes there are levels that I actually do want to read properly and get decent footage of, so... We'll see how we do in this mode. Just because you asked back in 2019. So, 2 years ago. And the answer is... looks surprisingly like Donkey Kong Country. Okay. Wow, this actually is tricky to watch. Something about down, something about carrying the crate. Well, no, we can just take this through and see if anything changes. No, we need an on-off state to widen the gate. Okay, that's what we do here. But if we widen the gate, then... how do we get in there? Let's see if we can... What is this even shooting at me? Wait a minute here. I can't actually see what it's shooting. I think they are big Cheep Cheeps, but I can't tell. You played this, but now you realize you played it wrong. Yeah, there is a right way for it. I think we block the blaster, actually. Because physically that makes so much sense. No, I thought it would just push though, right? It should just... Okay, physically it makes no sense. However, it only pushes the crate once the crate is on top. It doesn't push the crate while the crate is still floating its way up, which is very strange. But yeah, I know that Gilmore has mapped out a lot of these 3D World underwater mechanics, or 3D World forest mechanics, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Up we go. They're shooting big piranha plants. Okay, I couldn't quite tell. They looked like big Cheep Cheeps for some reason, but I can't actually tell what color they are. That's the thing. So yeah, the funny thing about this is that I think it actually predates then a lot of what I'd seen with streamers trying to use invert colors as a channel reward or as just an alternate mode. It was made all the way back in... we forgot to hit the on-off button here. It was made in 2019. Let's tap this and then outrun or outswim. And yeah, that's a neat way to do the blaster blocking, just by shooting something 2 tiles long, 2 by 2 rather, into a space where it's just going to die instantly. Neat little effect too, so... yeah, this obstacle is just a bit of a swimming check here as we try not to die to all the spike balls. This I remember from Paxman's 4YMM level, in terms of the swimming interaction giving you a boost on the skip squeaks. And, oh, no, we need to swim up to that pipe. I didn't see that coming, so let's react to that properly as we head over to the warp block. Okay. swim over here, hit that, and up we go. Really neat interaction. That's video game physics for you. I missed the key. That's okay, we can get on the way back. Fade to white, exactly. You know, I used to keep my Switch in light mode all the time, back when, especially I was formerly playing almost entirely in handheld and tabletop, and it was perfectly fine for me. And then when I started streaming, you know, every time I hit the home button, whether it was intentionally or by mistake, you would have people in chat saying, "Ah, my eyes, they burn," or something. And then that's when I just started getting used to using dark mode exclusively for streaming purposes. Now, of course, you folks have to deal with the whiteout that happens when I do all of that. Now this you just need to beat, I think. No, let's let the conveyor go all the way over. I said let's let the conveyor go all the way over. Or we could go for checkpoint. I mean, we could do that too. Except we'd need to get past a second gate here before we get completely squished. Yeah, because these pipes aren't actually linked. These pipes just go up, so we'll do that, grab the checkpoint flag, and go through this really beautifully decorated cross pipe that we have here. Now, here's the thing. If the pipe is yellow in inverted colors, what does that make the pipe normally? Like, what's the complementary color in terms of the spectrum here? I ask partly because if pipe spawner speed becomes relevant, this could cause some problems. And LOL or XFY or XFV or something, thank you for the submission of Pixel Perfect 2. That sounds inauspicious, but... Okay, so they are blue pipes. Yeah, of course. I was trying to get my colors straight. Because I guess it would be... Yeah, red and yellow in the RGB scheme. That's, you know, when you have additive primary colors. Feels like I know what I'm talking about. Are those additive colors or subtractive colors? Additive, I think. Yeah. Primary colors of light. Oh, wait, let's do that. I'm sure that in the course of running the stream, I've peddled all kinds of totally unintentionally inaccurate information just from, you know, talking as I go without actually being able to look things up. So, what happened to the game? Well, the recommendation for this level was to play it with inverted colors, which is a setting that you can set on the Switch at a system level. So currently all of the colors on the Switch itself are flipped. And yeah, the level description suggested that I do it just to make things look extra trippy, and so I thought that would be fun. Adds a little bit of an extra element of challenge to this in terms of being able to read things, because there are a few things that aren't quite as intuitive, I think, when you have to play this way. Now, I don't know if it was possible to beat the blasters. That's okay, we just need to get through this cloud platform gate now and let the blasters push you down. I will only be doing it for this level, in case you're interested. I'm not going to be doing it after that, unless, of course, we see other levels that have descriptions recommending this from 2 years ago. Looks like a dry bones, actually, like a 2x2 dry bones that's dying on that platform. We need to flip this and then go around this pipe before we get squished. And then we need to squish the bombs to kill the skipsqueaks. And then we listen to the screams of the skipsqueaks, as if a million voices cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. Okay. We saw that coming. That was very obviously going to happen. Not that I can prove it when I don't really visibly react to that at all. It's like, okay, this spring-loaded mechanism is about to happen. What do? We accept our tragic fate. Alright, down we go. Oh. And back up. And let's let the cloud do all of its pushing. And down we go. It really does look surprisingly like a DKC level, partly because of, you know, the general look and feel of 3D World to begin with, but when you have this color scheme, it reminds me of something very specific from the retro era games. Warzarda T, thank you for the submission of your Thwomp level. And let's go down. And Green Heroes. Hope you're doing well. As soon as you said nice, I checked how many coins I was holding, just in case. There's some numerical humor involved, but I didn't actually see because I reset at that point. This does almost look like the castle theme, actually. Now that you mention it, the castle themes might be pretty interesting with inversion. Although, yeah, with green and blue kind of taking the place of lava, just sort of mapping this out in my head mentally, like what you would get that to look like. And yeah, actually, now that you mention it, Gilmore, the Kirby level, I don't remember specifically which level, but I can kind of visualize what you're talking about. We need to get down here and drop. A little bit too much swimming there, but everything is going to be trapped. Great. We had checkpoint. That's a nice little segment. Okay, Fishbones is going to circle around a little bit like that. This is totally throwing me off that I'm looking at that as a blue pipe, but then it's obviously spawning with yellow pipe speed instead. We need to follow this in, actually. We just need to go through and drop before anything else happens. Same idea here, really neat. Thwomp is just going to hang around here, so we might as well just go through the door and see what happens. Pow is going to kill the Thwomp. The tree gives you a 1-up. And check the pipe, of course. But then we need to be able to do this while... We need to enter the door while holding an item here, which is easier said than done. Let's see here. There we go. You have to pick up, and then you hit up. That's kind of an edge case interaction there as well, actually. Like, doing the pick up right as you entered the door. I feel like... I mean, just given the lack of people who build 3D world puzzle levels, I feel like that's a mechanic that we should see more of, that we don't see. The star is going to allow me to get through all of these guys here, which is good, because we'll be able to cut down this pipe. Duck in here before anything crashes into me impulsively. Looks like we will have another crate-style segment where we need to do some blocking. Okay, we hit checkpoint recently, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. The tree is the right color for Day Forest, actually, now that you mention it. Okay. There we go. Now, let's grab the POW. We then need to set down the POW, pick up the POW, and hit up at the same time. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Surprisingly finicky to do that, but grab the star. And let the star just float up to me here, and then we'll go through all of this stuff here. Not hang around the pipe too much as we head all the way down. And up we go, up we go. And nope, too slow. I mean, you can do second cycle at some of that, I think, given the blaster arrangements, but no particular advantage to trying to play cautiously when you have to catch the same timings there every time anyway. And yeah, just need to swim a little more accurately, I think, and things should go okay. Green Heroes, thank you for the submission of Pumpkin Party. Nope, that's not it. Okay. There we go. Eradicate the thwomp, and then we are through. Okay. Now we need to go down really quickly. And then, whoops. And then we use the crates to start blocking. Interestingly enough, if I just throw the crate in, then I should be able to block that in the middle, I think. Do I want to do that? Toss the crate in now. So that's going to float around the middle, and then that's going to create a timing check. Yeah, that's right. I probably should have grabbed a second crate, though, before doing that. I feel like I should have tossed a crate and then grabbed a second crate and brought it with me, because we will probably need to. I'm probably missing something fairly obvious, but like with the crates maybe unblocking some location. Let's go back and see. Look at that massive fish skull that's just floating down here. It looks great, actually, in the inverted colors where you see that glowing eye socket. Oh, this is a blue POW, isn't it? Not a red POW. I only really just noticed that it's not a ranged POW. Okay. And yeah, everything is quite neon. Good thing to keep in mind, actually, Green Heroes, for some of those 80s music levels that we've been looking at lately. Maybe some of them would benefit quite a bit from inverted colors to be totally thematically faithful. Let's grab one. Let's throw one and grab another one. Nope. Mistake. Hang on, we'll have another chance at it. Let's do this once again. Next cycle, of course. Nope, too close. What does that tell you about the regular palette? That it is anti-neon, I guess. Okay. Maybe that was not a good idea. However... Nope, that was definitely not a good idea. It's okay, we'll just go through here, and then now we will block this guy. Until we load up, and yeah, you can constrain this indefinitely because of the way that you can prevent the crate from going too far up. And then the bounce here is probably just there to prevent you from turning through the door. Spirit Wolf, the levels are going well. You can probably see how well it's going. It's from this thing here as we take this trap, which is not actually that deadly, but I love how it finishes there with the blaster on the left side, so you can just kind of continue. Alright, there's the liquidy waters, as you can see from the blue watery banner over here. Give me 1 second. I am going to figure out what's going on with my controllers here so I can switch back to the normal mode. And then we'll put in the next level. Okay, let's see here. Let's get back to regular colors. And Troy, yeah, it's pronounced Troy. You explained that to me last time, if you're still here. Please check in if you're able. And we will pull yours in. Thank you for all the GGs that we heard just now. I think Troy may have stepped out. So, if we take a look at the list, Spirit Wolf will be next. So, absent a check-in from Troy, who does not appear to be on the lurking and chat list either. Do a quick removal. And Spirit Wolf is here, so we'll take a look at this. Spirit Wolf, I believe you said earlier that this is a recommended level from early on in the game. Do correct me if I misunderstood. And yeah, Gilmore or Melonron, I guess we got to give that level a properly colorful showing. I'm glad you sent that along. And this is a level that you collected. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Run on a snowfield. I would assume the Japanese text is saying something very similar here, but I do like to occasionally just point my machine translation engine at the Japanese in case it's giving me any other useful information. It says there is one in the middle, so please do your best. If you chase the coins, you can do something about it. I don't understand what that means. I think the machine translation has probably just misunderstood. So let's just follow the coins and enjoy the level. 90 seconds of running to the tune of about 4%. Looks like we just followed a coin trail and die over and over to not following instructions. Okay. Going to be a bit of back and forth here. And up we go. And 71 seconds coming out of the first segment. I mean, the clear rate on this is relaxed enough that as long as we don't randomly fall off edges, we probably be fine. Just going to trust that everything is triggering as needed. Yeah, I have to hit that jump block accurately, of course. But other than that, it's just a matter of not dying too much to the sensory overload. Just a little bit late on that corner jump simply because I didn't compensate for the conveyor speed, sending me off into the abyss. So yeah, we'll just react to that a little bit better when we see it again. And notice that there are 5 pink coins as well. We haven't seen what that's all about. And Fart, welcome. Hello to you as well. You and your not-so-random farts. And okay, there we go. Fireworks everywhere. And the same mistake, yeah. I feel like the arrow is sort of designating that you should be anticipating the jump slightly ahead, but like I said, I don't really follow instructions very well, so I just tried to compensate for the conveyor as I see it, which is a little difficult to spot, but we'll make it happen. Okay, down we go. And okay. I feel like this level's entire tactic is to just try to, as I said, distract you with sensory overload. Here's a checkpoint, which I think doesn't always make sense for levels that are on a short timer, because that means the timer essentially doesn't matter. But that's okay. I mean, you only really get this one linear path anyway, which is all time sensitive, so the clock really only has the effect of making the music fast. It's not really there for any other purpose. It's not like you're going to be taking your time on anything here. And here's some more. 19 seconds left at that location here. And yeah, Fart, you're quite welcome to suggest a course. You can just use the add command with a code that you want to punch in. And of course, I'm just instinctively going right at the checkpoint because I'm too busy reading chat. There goes the clear rate. Okay, up we go. Let's come here again and notice how the creepy baby sound effects, in fact, are just happening as you bounce into some of the springs, which maybe tells you something about how the maker imagines objects that bounce. And down we go. Okay, thank you for that, Spirit Wolf. And of course, the difference in the record here is accounted for entirely by dying after the checkpoint. Not much room for optimization at this point, I think, with this many players on it, and fairly tightly controlled course all around. Let's mark that as a win. And Terminator, you just replace your code, so we can do that, sure. And Fart, you have the world record on a course that you sent me, and you think I'm going to steal it? Well, I'm occasionally a bit of a slow and sloppy player. The last course may have given you the wrong idea, simply because it doesn't actually have that much flexibility to it, to be honest. Okay, here's The Bouncing Dead. This is from April. Looks like we're going to have some poison mushrooms jumping all over the place trying to mob us here. They all came in the night. Glenn was first, and now they want the United States. Oh, you just bought Mario Maker 2 an hour ago. Well, welcome. Yeah, it's really good to get into the Twitch side of the scene if you want to improve and have a lot of playtesting. That's going to show off how people will break your stuff. So yeah, Fart, if you're fairly new to the experience of sending your levels to streamers, do know that it's a very normal experience for, you know, even just the most obscure looking defects or bugs in your level to be immediately exposed. It happens to everybody. But you have that to look forward to while we try not to get mobbed by poison mushrooms. So the poison mushrooms here will kind of respond to bouncing, so we'll be extra careful with that stuff. And, okay. I see, we should just follow the arrows down to the right side. Oh, you had Mario Maker on your 3DS before, okay, yeah, so. Not completely new. We've had some very good makers here who also started out with the 3DS port of Mario Maker 1. And, okay, down we go. We need to go a bit faster, I think. There, I can't actually see where the positioning of the poison mushrooms is in terms of whether I'm on pace. So we'll see if we can make that work. And yeah, Lol Orexefi, or however you like to pronounce your name. A lot of people, of course, just came in with the second game. I'm planning to do a Mario Maker 1 retro stream at some point. The issue is that I finally was reunited with my Wii U, but I can't find my copy of Mario Maker because basically a bunch of things with my old Wii U collection got moved around while I was not paying attention and while I was not really able to manage them directly myself. And so I'm still trying to hunt down where my Mario Maker 1 disc went, and once I find that, there's actually a lot of Maker 1 content I want to show off because I was not a streamer back then. I only really kind of got into the Twitch side of things as a viewer right before Maker 2 was announced, in fact. But there's some really interesting content in Maker 1 that, for a couple of mechanical reasons, cannot be duplicated in Maker 2. Because of changes to the engine, changes to the editor, elements that have been removed, all kinds of things. So it'll be nice to kind of go back to Maker 1 and learn some of its unique mechanics again, because there are a few interactions that are quite different. And quite a few editor tricks that no longer work or have otherwise been altered. Okay. Now let's head over here. And we just need to go a little bit faster, I think. This is a chase sequence where everything drops on you. Here we just need to climb. Gain a little bit of distance. Oh, not that soon. And yeah, Furia, those spike hitboxes, they are no joke. Like, I won't be doing anything like Maker 1 Kaizo. I feel like it was such an effort to learn some of the item abuse timings in this game that I'm not going to learn it all over again for Maker 1, but there are some specific levels of Maker 1 that I never got to see that are on my to-do list. Including some things that are puzzles, which will be interesting because some of the puzzle mechanics have changed quite a bit as well in terms of some of the tech that you only see in the background. Okay. We're going to lose some time here. This is going to be just a little bit too slow. There is enough room there, enough headroom that you could probably make a series of short jumps there at the very end. anyway, let's jump as much as possible to gain some distance whenever we can. It's not going to help you too much when there are some points where additional power-ups refresh and chase you to prevent you from running too far. Like right here. When that whole second stack comes down, the timer on this essentially resets. Whoops. Okay, up we go. Nope. And yeah, Fart, I never played the one on the DS, because it's a 3DS rather, because I already had it on Wii U. And of course on Wii U you had all the online level sharing. Although I understand that the 3DS version of Mario Maker has some official Nintendo content that you can't find anywhere else in terms of what's already built into the game, like in terms of the Nintendo demo levels. Okay, here we go. And here, well, let's not go that far. It's trying to get ahead, if I could, of the new stack of poison mushrooms that comes down at that point in the level, so. And Jala, welcome back. Looking forward to more jamping from your submission today. And yeah, Fart, I mean, you know, the 3DS had a pretty considerable library of games, so... Definitely no harm done there to have just that system to keep you occupied. Okay, no, let's just climb across there, let's not jump. That's specifically there to constrain that jump, in fact. Okay. Up we go. New stack is coming down pretty soon. Okay, we are a little bit slow here. Let's see if we can make that happen. Yeah, it's been a while since I played my 3DS as well. I'll probably dig it out to replay Samus Returns before Metroid Dread comes out. There's some stuff that I still want to do with the Fire Emblem games on 3DS as well. I put a ton of time into both Awakening and Fates, but they are such huge games that I never actually got everything done in them that I wanted to. And in Fate specifically, because it's just this massive undertaking. But yeah, Samus Returns, I think back in 2017 was the last thing I got for my 3DS. And it really kind of wrecked my control stick. I had to super glue my 3DS circle pad back on because playing Metroid just kind of broke it. But yeah, Spirit Wolf, thank you for that second level suggestion. Just so people know, the queue isn't going to be open for too much longer, given that we have a large number of submissions to get through. For anybody who is new here, I do typically get through everybody who submits to the queue. It might just be a bit of a long wait. And depending on the difficulty of some of the levels that are ahead. Some viewer level streamers like to enforce a time limit per level. I'm not really one of them. I think it's better to keep things flexible because you see some interesting content that you might not encounter otherwise. Okay. See about that. And the first game you ever got was Cars 3. Oh, you mean the Driven to Win spin-off game based on Pixar's Cars? Yeah, I know of that. I'm somebody who follows Pixar films very closely, but I don't really play any of the spin-off games. I vaguely remember the Toy Story game that was on, I think, PlayStation 1 back in the mid-90s, but that would have been the last time I encountered Pixar content in video game context. First game we got was Xfinity. Do I know what Xfinity is apart from the Comcast internet service? I'm not sure I know of a game called Xfinity. I know it's the name of that one Comcast-run internet service that people complain about all the time, including people complaining about it here on this stream when they have trouble with Twitch. Okay, we actually got a decent amount of distance this time, or so it seems. Go quick. Now, can we do this just by climbing? Yes, we can. And that's a clear. Oh, it's a game system. Okay, okay. Okay, thank you for that, Terminator. Definitely doing a bit of a number of my thumb here in terms of switching from grabbing the vines to climbing in all directions, but we'll mark that as a win. Okay, Lola. I guess we'll call you Lola unless you correct me further. Let's pull yours up. I'm going to look at the clear rate on yours, and we'll kind of plan accordingly in terms of whether I'm going to leave the queue open for much longer. Usually I close queue around the 2 to 2.5 hour mark on my stream, and then we run until about the 4 hour mark. But that changes. It tends to be flexible. Okay, 3% or so, 20 seconds. Yeah, sure, let's take a look at it first, and we'll see. And I see that's a pipe that's just sort of dangling on top of the platform here. I'm going to share an emote in chat that I only just remembered I had access to because I didn't realize I received this as a gift sub. So some of you might know SDGML, who submitted a platformer level to us yesterday, and who also is a Mario streamer, Mario Kart, Mario Maker, as well as NSMB. And she's got this emote specifically for naked pipes. Anyway, we will hopefully not have to run into any similar censorship as we take a look at Muncher's Love. And yeah, Terminator, thank you for shell surfing. Okay, so we have a pipe down here, we have a continuation over there that looks precise. This will not do anything for me, but let's just hop down and see if this takes us anywhere interesting. It's just a drop zone. 4 coins. Let's see. See how we go. And Terminator, thank you for 8 boss circuit. I think if we go down the left side, we can actually twirl down to the pipe. I think we can do it. I need to not miss, but I think that if I slow down enough that I can probably wind up back on the blue platform. And Furia, thank you for dropping by for so long today. Hopefully you're doing well, and that will... Yeah, that's totally doable even without the blue platform. I can totally do it. It's within range. It might be against the spirit of how this is built, but the thing is... we shouldn't put too much faith in a layout like this to begin with. Yeah, if I do a nice high jump to start that, I should be able to fall on the blue platform if I have the ability to do so. You're lagging a bit. Yeah, I'm just checking my stream here. Do let me know, people, if we have some issues on the technical side here. Okay, so you are kind of misdirecting me here because the way I'm doing it apparently is impossible. Interesting, okay. I don't know about that because let's say we get on top of this pipe and then we twirl down. And then actually, if I caught that blue platform, I would be able to jump back up from the blue platform onto the pipe if I'm careful. But what we need to do is we need to get some height first. And then drop down gradually. And then we'll see how this whole branching path thing is going, because there's obviously something else entirely on the right side. Oh yeah, actually we could have just ridden the platform further down on that location there, so. Your second easiest level, that is a terrifying claim. And yeah, we just need the platform to go a little bit lower and then we'll get onto the pipe. Okay. Nope, that way lies death. Let's actually get on top of the top pipe first. And let's see how that goes. And then this will spit you where? Over here, we see a bunch of coins and a key door, which may or may not be necessary. Let's see what's up here first. Okay, 1 coin. And then we just ride everything down patiently. Very nice of you to give me a mushroom there, because I'm certainly not doing some kind of lineup down here. Let's check this side first, though. Okay, looks like that one in the middle is going to be a little bit tough. Whoa, okay. Oh, and that's the start of the level right there, yeah. Nope. Accidentally did a spin jump off the right side there. Well, I mean, if that's going to link up with this side anyway, we may as well just come down here. There's no particular reason not to. Because it just skips right back to where we were before. But let's see. Yeah, we'll just try to skip over to the key coin first then. Because regardless of which way we do it, we'll just wind up in the same place and with the same obstacle, so I may as well just practice the part that I was having trouble with as much as I can. And, well, let's maybe be a bit more patient with this one. Okay. Over here. Down we go. And there we go. Salvage that. Let's not squander it. And down we go. Okay, 4th coin, and then we have to wrap our way back around. Which is going to be the hard part here. The hard part is not getting to this coin, the hard part is getting back in here. But if you grab the mushroom, why would you want to do all that? Like if you grab the mushroom, watch this. Why do you need the key coin? You can just wall jump. Oh, with invincibility frames. Okay, that's not long enough. I was hoping to just take damage and wall jump around, but now we are probably dead. But I want to try that. So let's skip over to the mushroom part.
Oh no!
And actually, what's the easier way to skip over to the mushroom part? Let's think about that. No, I want to try cheesing it, actually. I don't know if it's doable given that placement, but I do think it's worth checking.
Oh no!
Because why do we even care if I take damage from the mushroom if I'm able to wall jump over? Well, I guess it's a bit of a wide gap. Like, that would be the reason that you couldn't wall jump, is that it's simply too wide a chasm to get over in time.
Oh no!
Yeah, first coin here is the most annoying one, for sure. But then re-entering that other one-tile gap to get back to the key door is going to be just as rough. Okay. Let's do all this. I can probably afford to get this one at the top of the tower last, since it's effectively trivial if we know how to get back there. So yeah, we'll take the mushroom, we'll drop back in here, which is going to be probably a bit of a pain. I don't know about that. I feel like we can make this with a wall jump. Let's say we take damage, and then I just cheese it this way. Oh, and then you need to hit the flagpole in a very precise location. So yeah, you can just skip the key coins entirely. That's not really going to matter too much. But at the same time, you're going to face the same challenge at the end. So yeah, let's just skip all the coins. We know how to do everything up to the flagpole without trying to fuss around with it too much. What you do is you grab the mushroom, and then you take a quick point of damage, and then you run over because you don't hit your head. And then you play with the hitbox, which honestly I'm not going to make too many attempts on that, just so you know. I'm not really a precision specialist. So that kind of thing really feels like it's just the luck of the draw for me. But if we can do it, we'll do it. So, let's see here. Because yeah, look at this. Look at this thing here. Can you believe it? Well, now we just take a damage boost at the end then.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
And that's a win. Thank you for that, Lola. Or however you pronounce your name. Void Keeper, I guess. And we raised that clear rate. And yeah, Bees McGee with that 17-second record, I think, is almost certainly privy to the same trick. Okay, so let's take a look at the next clear rate, and I'll decide whether to close the queue from there. Depending, of course, on who is still present. And for Zerator T. And once I do close the queue, I'm going to probably try to pull Terminator in with Sub next, just to give him that privilege if he's still here. But we'll do a check to see who's remaining first, to see how many people we actually have left in the queue. For Zerator T, I think dropped out. I don't see them in the chat, so if they're not checking in very, very soon, we will do a skip. So yeah, when you do get pulled into the next position, do speak up in chat. Green Heroes tends to be here for long stretches, so we'll just give Green Heroes a chance to greet us with some hype. I'm sure it's going to be some multi-looping music level yet again. The next generation. And yeah, we played Homestuck Pumpkin Party already. We can do another one if you want. Zerd Guy, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So, if you have anything in particular, Midnight Crew, that's the most recent one we haven't done. If there's anything in particular you want to recommend, Green Heroes, we can do something like Midnight Crew. 2YMM2. Oh, it's a cappella. I mean, we're not going to sing along, but stay big for the true ending. We might do that if there is time, so. Let me just check the list again, see how we're doing. Yeah, Fart, Spirit Wolf, Cloud Crazy, Jella, and Terminator. Most of whom seem to be here still, so. Yeah, I may be able to leave the queue open for maybe one more level, and then we'll definitely shut off the tab. And we'll also see how we're doing in terms of the true ending. Notice the suits in the thumbnail: heart, diamond, spade, and club, as far as I can tell. Up we go. And everything's going to load in. Love the placement of all these clocks. And yeah, as we expected, there is going to be some kind of on-off looping mechanism that will eventually bring us back there for another round. Same goes for the dark location here. In fact, oh, should have reacted to that properly. I was repositioning myself there after that series of spin jumps and didn't quite see where I was going. Whoops. And we need to stay big, you say? Yeah, I do see that spring with the pipe at the very beginning just to kind of get you positioned. A nice runnable position for when you do come back here with the on-off state toggled. Okay, off we go. And a star over there, and yeah, we just bumped that guy, and then... Okay, that was not as risky as it looked. That, however, was an obstacle. And as Spirit Wolf was saying, nobody's perfect, which always makes me think of the ending of the film Some Like It Hot, if any of you know it. And in we go. Now, down here, same idea. Let's not miss it the next time that comes around, though. And yeah, the jump blocks are just going to sort themselves out. Oh, I see. I was seeing this spin indicator, which usually just tells me, oh, spin blindly, and maybe we did that a little too blindly, given the spawning of that flying blue spike top. Okay, let's try this again. And up we go. Okay, nothing off this star, that's just for lighting. And yeah, we'll see what we can do with this pipe positioning here. And once again, okay, this will be fine. We were a little late there. It's not supposed to be that high up in a twister, but I stumbled a bit going into that jump, so we'll see how we do. Whoops. Don't want to hug the edge of the auto-scroll too quickly, of course. Whoops. That was a... I momentarily reached for my drink death. And occasionally you just burn an attempt on something like that. Okay. Especially when you have a level that just starts you up right away without any downtime. Up we go. And forward. Up all this stuff here, and then let's stall just a little bit here, not too long. And there we go, that went smoothly. Okay, on-off state switch and then back to the start, I'm pretty sure. Eventually, we'll have to do this transitional segment first. Hear a little bit more of the song, and here's checkpoint. And 4 doors over here. I'll read what you're saying about the budget limits in just a moment. When I have a chance to actually think about it. And, okay. Conveyors over here. Yeah, I guess you're just running on top of the main world layout here in Tune Play. So it breaks many limits on budget. Oh, I see. You're supposed to stay big there in order to get to the secret exit. We were big. Were we already big going into the checkpoint, or was it when I hit the checkpoint? I think it was when I hit the checkpoint. So we might not see the secret exit yet this round, depending on how perfectionistic we want to be. Yeah, use all the boom booms you had, so use Koopalings as well, right, for the additional elements that you can place outside the standard enemy limit. You do need to hit the spike top accurately. It is a bit of a moving target here that I can't quite see. Yeah, Spirit, well, sorry to hear that about your eye. I mean, I don't know what you can do to prevent any further deterioration here, but I appreciate that you're trying to watch Mario Maker regardless. Okay, there we go. And up here. Yeah, I don't want to loop around it, I do want to just go over. I couldn't quite see where the wall and the next platform were going to be. Yeah, I can see that the spike top traveling patterns would allow you to hit multiple blocks with them. I do see some of the loops that you set up for that. Just to get them to rotate and act as multiple instruments, if you've timed it up properly. Kind of neat that they were able to give you the timings you were looking for, in fact. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a bit hard to see that one, but we'll go up. Oh, that was probably a bad idea. You can't really have the room to stumble on this. All you can do is a transplant. Well, I mean, in the end, a year may not be the worst sacrifice if you want to restore stereo vision. I mean, it sounds absolutely awful. There's no working around that, but after that, you get stereo vision back for quite a lot longer, so it's just a matter of whether you're able to, you know, sacrifice a year to that. It sounds extremely unpleasant, and absolutely my full sympathies for that. And okay, away you go. We'll go up. And oh, missed that guy. Oh yeah, that's very true. Waiting for the new one would be an added complication. Okay. Let's get through here. And yeah, probably shouldn't lose time and distance to looping around that guy, but everything else should spawn as you scroll into it with the auto scroll being what it is. So whoops. Okay, didn't quite see what was going on there. It's a little difficult to see that in the dark, I think. Often because you don't know what your destination is either, so you don't know what kind of collision after the bounce you need to plan for. So we'll see if we can do something about it. But certainly remaining big for the whole thing does seem quite difficult. Now that I look at it, simply because there's so much room for error from various things that you can fail to do in the dark. Okay, let's actually watch this. There we go. Yeah, I definitely couldn't see that guy coming on that second spin. Because it seemed like I needed to slow down just a little bit to catch some of those spin jumps instead of just running forward the whole time. But with the second one, it didn't seem illuminated in the short window of time I had available to actually jump on it. So we'll see if we can make it work somehow. And up we go. Okay. Nope, just fell down. And that looks like it's going to be close to the end because I see that wall that's before the door. With that skull track on the other side. So let's just go back and do that. And up we go. Okay, let's see if we can sort out some of the rougher spots that I'm running into here in terms of working with those spike tops under the one-way panels. Okay, so here we go up. Spike tops are a lot of fun, though, as an element. You can do a lot with their positioning. There we go. Ah, there we are. Why do you want to spin jump there? Is it because of the ceiling, or is there something else I'm meant to hit there? Something that's spawning from the blaster, or do I get on top of the blaster? I'm unclear on that. See, this is why I don't read indications well. It's because, like, my habits, just from being trained by lots of professionally developed platformer games, including, of course, the core Mario series, is to always look at the targets that I'm actually interacting with and think about the interactive elements in the space. And so sometimes when I see markers telling me to do something on faith, that kind of conflicts with my natural instinct in terms of reading what's in front of me, which in this case is largely in the dark. And so I'll see if I can make it happen. It is something that's kind of challenging by design, I think. So we'll try to make it work. And yeah, let's go around here. We fell below the one-way panel that time. And, oh yeah, you were talking about the silver spikes, like the one-tile spikes? Yeah, let's see here. Not too much of that to deal with in this one, unfortunately. Yeah, I see what you mean about the indications saying where rather than when, in terms of having a bit of a wait on some of them to wait for something that's actually going to be lit up for you to interact with. Because it is a little bit weird that you're kind of going in this fast auto-scroll, but at the same time that there are these places where you are supposed to pull back in order to hit anything. So yeah, there we go. It is from what the blaster fires at the very end. Oh, that's interesting. Obviously, we should go through here, though. I think the door is a reset for if you fail that and take out the only platform that gets you up to the pipe. Okay, transitional verse over here. And yeah, Spirit Wolf, I can agree with that. It's, ever since Maker 1, I always thought that some of the artwork for new elements that were specific to Mario Maker, like the one-tile spikes, to some extent the one-way panels as well, really artistically didn't fit in with the games. They're kind of second nature now after playing lots and lots of Mario Maker, but no, I still find the one-tile spikes really kind of hideous. It's too bad that functionally a lot of the alternatives to them, like munchers, saw blades for larger blocks, etc., do take up valuable budget. And in terms of the one-tile spikes, like I think that sometimes you wind up with levels that have to use them for budgetary reasons. I like how it says on and off up top there. It's kind of a nice touch. And yeah, Green Heroes, I understood that about the door. That was actually fairly clear, in fact. Okay. Back here we go. And no, we don't want to drop down there. As you can see, there's quite a lot going on here with the scrolling position in the same space being dependent on the height of where you spawn in. That's going to set the initial camera height. And then the scroll forward is just going to do the rest. So you've got a lot of stacking on top of the same layout here. just from the differences in your entry points. Stars are going to highlight the platforms that you have to work with. And then, nope, lost too much momentum there, and that was not great timing. Okay, up we go. And then we'll wrap around. Okay, that's fine so far. Let's not die here. Yeah, we do need to jump on this guy once more. Same kind of bounces that we saw before. And that's going to be fine. And Rebox. Welcome back. Hope the 3D Mario hacks are going well. Whoops. Right before the checkpoint at the end of this totally trivial screen. Yeah, that's what happens when I become complacent about screens like that, where it's like, okay, great, time to catch up on a chat. And, okay, let's wrap around. Yeah, the one thing that... I mean, the visibility for this, in terms of a dark level, is mostly fine, surprisingly. The one thing that I've had the most trouble with in terms of visibility is if I have a timed spin jump that requires me to wait for something, while the auto-scroll is kind of giving me some forward pressure to continue. Particularly with that bit with the one-way panels earlier. I mean, functionally, the one-way panels were kind of needed. Whoops. Oh, no, I wanted to take the extra door. Except that was protected by a one-way panel, so that's an exit-only door for staying big at the end. Okay, I see. I think so, anyway, that you probably have some power-up detection there that gates off the true ending. Thanks for that, Green Heroes. We could conceivably try to do a hard mode at some point, but that might be a little bit of an undertaking right now, so... Anyway, thank you for that. The checkpoint had a progressive power-up. Oh, I see. Okay. So, thank you for the GGs. As I was saying, at this point I will be closing the queue right after I punch in the next code. So this is going to be last call. Let me just mark this as a win quickly. Thank you for all the GGs. This is the current list. And let me just see how we're doing in terms of people who are still lurking here. Yeah, well, I'll pull in Fart's code next. I don't see Terminator listed right now as going to consider putting him in with a sub-priority, but might not know that he would be up this soon, and so we'll just go straight to Fart next to see Fart 19876's level. And once I punch in the code, the queue will be closed. I don't think everybody on the list is online, so we just have a few remaining, but we will be able to get through this stuff in good time, I hope. Sometimes if I finish really early, I do open up for some codes from people who Might stumble into the stream after closing, but I cannot always guarantee stuff like that, so. This is going to be a basic level, difficulty about 4%. And... okay, it's your world record on somebody else's level? Is that how I understand this? Because Fart, your name is on the record. And is actually a little bit ahead of the creator time. Okay, great, that's perfectly fine. Suggestions are welcome. As I said though, at this point we'll be closing. If we get through things quickly, we'll see how they go. But for now, I'm just going to make sure the bot display is accurate. And also update my stream title accordingly. Just to make sure we don't advertise that the stream is still taking submissions. And you think it was a good level? Good to know. I think I've seen this maker before, actually. FCF Square Root of Nathan. I'm not totally sure. Maybe I haven't. Yeah, okay, maybe I haven't. But let's take a look. Okay. Alright, one of the few almost traditional looking platformer levels we've seen so far today, except for the part where it just laughs at you for dying on one of the first elements. It's available. Boo Ring is going to troll you a little bit and laugh at you. Okay, we'll just skip that. So, it's going to fool around with us a little bit. Yeah. Dry Bones that has been disabled is actually going to sit on the seesaw and weigh it down. Let's watch Potable timings here. Everything's going to break and distract you with sound effects while we wait for Fire to do something for me here. Okay. Now, what does this do for me? Yeah, as you can see, the shell is not loaded for very long, but fortunately that didn't affect the part of the level where we actually need to deal with that mechanism. But I wouldn't really expect every level that uses on-off shell timings to kind of understand what to do with keeping things globally loaded. Yeah, whatever. We were able to take damage, so there you go. Bowser is down. Everything does laugh at you. And I think that was a little over 60 seconds here, so I believe, Fart, you still hold the record. Yeah, still hold the record. But of course, I was just kind of learning that as we went, so... Thank you very much, Fart, for the suggested level. Let's just mark that as a win and move on to the next thing. Okay, Spirit Wolf. And for anybody new here, viewer levels is something I do run regularly in this time slot as well as the same time slot one day before, so on the Friday PM to Saturday AM stream and the Saturday PM to Sunday AM stream, which is the one that you're watching right now. That is what our regular viewer level session has been lately. Sometimes if I don't finish some things that are really long or difficult, I do run an overflow stream to mop up some unfinished business that has spilled over. Spirit Wolf, this is the same code that you gave me earlier. Did you want to give me something else? Because you punched in the same code, I think. And we have cleared this. That was actually the first one you sent, I believe, earlier on. Oh, okay, so let's replace that. Let's go 3 to R. JQL. The bot is going to display the wrong thing, but that's okay. We won't play around with that too much. And same idea, this time we are going to need to point my machine translation at the text that we were given. Yeah, no worries, Spirit Wolf. Things like this do happen. Surprisingly often, in fact. This time we have a lot of something avoidance. There's a semi-automatic dash in the second half, whatever that means. And it's asking you to follow the coins firmly, or perhaps strictly. So we will see. I mean, 20% clear rate can't be that complicated. It's probably just going to be a pretty straightforward run. Polysaw. I don't think I know, Green Heroes, who Polysaw is. But I think you do tend to see a bit of a broader picture of community than I often do here, so explain to me accordingly away. That would be interesting. And 40 seconds, I guess that turnaround up there was actually fine in terms of going right to left to right. Okay, same idea here. These coin trail levels often feel less like Mario than like Pac-Man, to be honest. Okay, look at how strict this area is here. Like, all you do is hold right and just let the bounce do its job, but I couldn't even see what the text was saying. It must be something relatively refreshing. Yeah, so that second half basically plays like an auto level, but one that is very tightly tuned around all the boo rings, so. And I was a whole 2 seconds behind. Somebody actually managed to optimize this much further. And we'll mark that as a win. And okay, let's go. I think Cloud Crazy might not actually be here. Daboos beat you. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because I was just holding right and the dash button the whole time and just letting everything do its job. And it seemed like... I mean, it would be very strict about your entry timing into all that in terms of having a very strict intended path, but... Yeah, I wonder where that little discrepancy was coming from. Can't be happening to too many people, considering that you still have a 20% clear rate on that. Oh, it's someone who farms a world record. Okay, that's why they would be optimizing stuff like that, where things seem relatively strict. I don't believe Cloud Crazy is still here. I will check anyway and give them a chance to check in case they come back. The way that Terminator that just came back. We'll probably do... Because there's 2 remaining, and I know Terminator sent me a Living on the Edge level, which can take a little bit longer. Yeah, we'll do Jalas first. I believe that was a Jamp level, and then Terminator will probably be our closer, unless we have anybody particularly interesting come in at the last minute. So Cloud Crazy, this is going to be your first and only call. And in the absence of a check-in, we will move on. And the other 2 I know are here, Jala and Terminator, so we'll just do that. J3F, K2N, 5PG. I don't know about that, Terminator. I thought we actually did have a call for you yesterday that was near the end of the stream that you weren't present for. But that was the case for a few people yesterday, because we were running quite long. So, no worries about that, and once again, thank you for that sub earlier. Okay, Dizzy Jumping on Some Heads by Jella. I think I'm going to hurl. 1 CP, spinny spinny, same kind of instruction we've received with the last one from Jella. So, let's take a look. And yeah, I assume sometimes, Terminator, that with some of my regulars here who sometimes don't check in very late in the stream, that they do just fall asleep. That's happened. It's understandable given the sort of hours I run, and also just the length of the wait. Okay, let's control these jumps a bit. Of course we're going for this because we're reckless and because I can. Looks like that's just a 1-up, okay. It would be nice to collect it anyway as a proof of concept, but let's go on. And Jella, as you know, same kind of thing I said yesterday about how nice it is to have the Z indicators disguised with the 1-up. Yeah, very similar kind of opening to what we had seen before. Then things get complicated. Okay, let's try to have a little bit of a better entry timing, or spacing rather, on this first guy here. Think about these pokies is that they do wiggle all over the place. It's like the pokies are pretending to be wigglers. You changed a bunch of stuff, and the only similar thing is the first 2 sections. Yeah, understandable. Changed a bunch of this. Okay, let's try to make it work. Yeah, I'm just sort of messing up quite a bit in the beginning. Sometimes it just happens. And we're going to have these guys sway all over the place. Of course, we'll go for some optional content while we still can. Yeah, ideally I just kind of land dead center and just hit them without having to make too much adjustment, but as you can see, we do need to control everything here. And up we go. Yeah, it does have a very clean look to it so far, for sure. We'll see if that continues. But visibility is not at all the problem here. It's just that I have to hit a lot of moving targets. And my adjustments are a little bit off for some reason today. So, we'll see. I mean, that's entirely on me. Up we go. Yeah, let's get up here. Okay, that's a bit of a long reach, but we'll do it. It occurred to me that you could technically go under the munchers, I think, if you wanted, but maybe I wasn't reading that correctly. Okay, here we just mind our head and stay big while we still can. Whoops. Of course, right as I said that, that was the end of things. Let's not get too high bounce off the boom boom. That's precisely what all those spikes are trying to prevent. And yeah, a lot of these pokies do give you the ability to just kind of adjust your height if you feel like you're positioned a little bit too high to have a safe ceiling or a good timing over to the next one. It's also designed, of course, to permit a nice smooth cycle early on, but who wants to do that? Yeah, so everything's kind of moving. That's really where the challenge in this level is coming from. And then we need to get all the way up here. And that is a GG. Thank you for that, Jala. Yeah, I think the whole thing is tuned pretty consistently. I mean, you deal with wiggling enemies everywhere, and so to have them walk around progressively larger spaces by the time you get to the end is a pretty continuous development of that concept. What do I think compared to the other one? I mean, I found that Boom Boom was easier to play around here. I think... yeah, I don't know if I can really do a sort of a head-to-head comparison. Because the other one is honestly not fresh enough in memory. On a very specific level, but... I do like that you have some room to make some adjustment in the second half, although, you know, you could obviously go fast if you wanted, but it's nice when you do have the capacity for some self-correction if you do slow down a bit. It's always nice just to have a little bit of flexibility and headroom like that in a level that is themed around jumping or even jamping. And yeah, Terminator, since you are potentially our closer today, we could potentially do something on the longer or more difficult side. There's no particular restriction here. Did I even mark that last one as a win? Yes, I did. Okay, good. But we'll see. I mean, Terminator, there's a lot that we haven't caught up on. 8 boss circuit. I love boss rushes. We'll do it. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a boss rush from you, actually, so we'll definitely take this on. But this was from April. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, I know that from some of your series levels that some of your boss designs were just getting better and better, so you do totally get crowded out by Boom Boom here if you're not careful, so let me just make sure fire gives us a little bit of space. Yeah, we were totally getting mobbed here, so let's be careful. I do see there's a bit of a risk here in terms of getting to the key door early. That's, of course, what the SD lock on the spike is there to prevent. I don't know about that. I feel like maybe with a setup like that, that it's better to have the key door not be obstructed, but to have the mushroom on the other side of it instead. But I don't know, of course, what the next room is going to be like, and maybe there's some other formal reason why you can't do it that way that I'm not actually aware of yet. But we'll see. That's just sort of, you know, a general kind of aesthetic objection to SD locks, where the player has to just kind of go out of the way to say, oh, I did something slightly wrong, now I'm dead. Now let's poke ourselves in the face. And yeah, Jealous, thank you so much for the submission again. I do like this boss setup with Boom Boom, though. Boom Boom is kind of nice in his simplicity in that his fights are all about the arena that you put him in. Oh, there he accelerates because that's after hit number 2. Okay, we'll try to do the first hit the easy way as before. Just get Boom Boom over here, position him, get way out of the way of where the fire is going, so we get plenty of headroom. Get jump number 3, and then we'll go through to fight number 2. Okay, so we have another mushroom coming down. I think the idea here is that we do need to take damage, and then a second hit is going to get me through. Now, the interesting thing about the damage boost method here is that the projectiles effectively don't matter. Like, the projectiles are never a threat because if you take damage, a big deal, you just hit the switch and move on, so... Okay. Okay, so you do need to crouch a little bit here if you're not big, if you are big, rather. That seemed a little bit awkward that if you drop in here with the mushroom, it actually does make things a little bit harder. Basically, I don't know if it was tuned with the expectation that you would have the mushroom, even though you had the infinite mushroom dispensers in the previous room. Whoops, that's a mistake. Yeah, I think coming out of the second room, most players are going to have the mushroom, given that you're just giving it away for free, right? They're definitely going to take it before proceeding. So the room after that feels like a little bit of a trap. But we'll go back there and see if we can just react to it a bit more cleanly this time. And okay, up we go. Yeah, Boom Boom's not too hard if we're careful. We just need to plan a little bit better in terms of where those hits are coming, where we position ourselves in order to get the next hit. Nope, that was poorly planned. Trying to dodge both the fire and Boom Boom at once, not really advisable. So let's let him make his way over. Reposition. Come over here before he accelerates. And yeah, the mushroom effectively isn't really going to matter except for just getting first hit. And yeah, because of his coloration, I keep forgetting that this is a Iggy in SMB1. Because he looks so different than he does in the other styles. Apart from those googly eyes, of course. It's Iggy's signature look. Okay, took too long on a damage boost that time. That was unexpected. I just got a little caught up on the conveyor belt. Alright, let's head back over. Okay, got caught off guard by the acceleration on hit number 3, so... For the third hit, we just need to make sure we get to Boom Boom quickly. The positioning is probably fine, though. Unless we do something like that, but... We do want to swap between the right and left just to stay very clear of the fire every time. But yeah, I always like fights like this where you do get a chance to strategize and come up with a plan that allows you to approach them a little more effectively. So yeah, Spirit Wolf, don't know if we've really earned any of those GGs yet, but we'll try to make it happen. Like I was saying, don't want Boom Boom to accelerate, because that's totally going to throw off my expectations for where his positioning is going to wind up. Yeah, we do need to wait a bit more patiently for the first hit. It seemed to be the much more successful method. Let's let Boom Boom come down then, and then we will proceed this way. And then, down we go. There we go, very clean. Oh, you were just trying to laugh that time? Yeah, that works too. And we want to jump as much as we can to get out of the conveyor belts. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Thought I would have enough time there. Yeah, it is a bit of a tight window. I guess I underestimated that given that the first time I did that fight it was very clean. There we go, kind of dangerous there in terms of how close I was to treading on fire, but we did wind up making that work in the end. Let's wait for the next mushroom. So the way to do it is actually to ride the conveyor belt, because then that minimizes the amount of time that you stay damaged while you're going left or right. So you actually need to use the conveyor belt to your advantage on the way in. And that's the only real trick here, because that little savings in time is going to matter. Okay, you can't really go through here, unfortunately. So what am I trying to do? It looks like a survival fight against Roy, actually, but maybe I just need to walk around a bit. Maybe I shouldn't even have the mushroom in that room, because if I don't have the mushroom, then I can grab the helmet. If I grab the helmet, then I can just duck out of a lot of what's going on with the Mecha Koopa missiles. And yeah, Spirit Wolf, it's not so much a question of getting back from that hit, it's, with the second fight, a question of getting to that switch as fast as possible. That was the adjustment that made things a lot more successful. Okay, second hit over here. And we are through once again. Alright, let's dodge the first hit here. Get on the conveyor belt and get off. And we'll just rush back as often and as quickly as possible. Without running into the projectiles from the back, of course. That would be an awful way to die. And that's going to get Crush on Iggy. Oh yeah, I forgot about what I said about the mushroom. We should actually just take damage here, because then I can grab the helmet. And do I actually need to hit Roy? I guess we would need Roy to take friendly fire or something. I don't see how else I'm going to do this, given that there is no exit from the box. Okay, he's just going to die natural. I didn't quite see how I succeeded in that fight, to be honest. But we're going to get checkpoint and not worry too much about it. This fight I actually remember. Because Terminator, I think we had seen this fight before in a different boss rush or level that you made. Or maybe we just saw it in its original context in some other level. Where the boss rush is just a compilation of bosses you already made, and this one just happened to be one that was familiar to me. Okay. No, we don't want to do that, obviously. We want to just tap everything on the right side until we can reach that on-off switch. This guy here. And just get out in time. It was a survival room, yeah. Okay. Good, because I didn't quite see how that setup was actually working in terms of Roy getting nuked. Okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting sometimes that we need to compensate for that little bounce after Big Mushroom breaks anything. I feel like it's going to be very difficult to get 2 hits in a row there, Big Mushroom. That the fire is supposed to constrain that as much as possible and force you to do a back and forth motion for multiple hits. And so we'll see if we can make that work. Not just yet, we don't, but need to play around some of the law of physics here. Which currently is a bit of an issue. Yeah, as you can see, not really making it to the claw successfully just yet. A lot of projectiles to play around, so see if we can gradually make it over. Trying to jump over that projectile is not really going to do the work that we want. Okay, so we do need to do that 4 times without just dropping off the claw the way we did there. Okay. Let's wait for the next one here. Why don't we just drop them off? Okay, much better. No key though. We need the on-off switch first before we go down to grab the key, so. Yeah, I like that strategy. Just dunk the guy off the track and that's it. Now we do have to cut through the ice. Then we'll have the blue blocks down below, and that'll be just fine. And yeah, that technically requires you to take damage, since you are 2 by 2 here. And so does this. I recognize this exit too, actually. From the other version of some of these boss fights that we had seen previously. Right, because you hit the P-switch. If you hit the P-switch with the arrow, that is enough to kill him quickly. I guess it's something to do with reading the arrows and refreshing the stars strategically so we can maximize our uptime with them. Yeah, the thing about hopping on a boss is that you can do it even if you're not big, but the thing is, it's easier if you clear out some space first so you can land safely when he's at the top of his track. So we probably want to clear out at least 1 or 2 blocks with the big mushroom before we proceed too far here. Yeah, that's going to be too low, for sure. It wasn't even at the top of the track just yet. But it does make things substantially easier. Yeah, sometimes just coming in a little bit low on the claw in terms of making contact with the power-up, but not getting caught in return. That's fine, we'll just do maybe a second cycle big mushroom before we just go directly for the boss kill. Or we can just grab him on top of the track here, and that will be just fine, actually. Especially given that the projectiles do disappear instantly on the death of the Koopaling. Okay, let's be extra careful about getting caught in the claw. No, this boss is Ludwig. Roy is the one who warps through the walls and wears cool sunglasses. Yeah, if you played very much SMB3 or Super Mario World growing up, you basically have all the Koopalings by memory. Very easily, in fact. It's been nice to see them make a comeback in the NSMB series as well. I know that some people are maybe having a bit of Koopaling fatigue, but I'm actually so glad to see them back in action after their very long absence from Mario after Super Mario World. They came back in the Mario and Luigi RPGs for the Game Boy Advance, but until that point, we do need a star here. Yeah, until that point, there was a long period of time when the Koopalings were just no longer really around. And yeah, Morton, of course, was the one with the stomp. I kind of recognize this boss as well, actually. So yeah, we had seen a couple of different iterations of these before in some Terminator levels. I remember specifically, actually, that I died to the fire a lot. Died to falling into lava a lot, I should say, because of some complication that comes up in a later phase. Let's make sure we get the mushroom. Oh, I see. No, we need to stop the shells because hitting the on-off switch is death. Hitting the on-off switch actually releases fire, because that's why you have a cross over the on-off switch that's on the top side here. You want to hit Bowser with the shells, but you don't want to have the shells pass him. If you hit him, that's fantastic. But if 3 shells pass Bowser, you're in big trouble. Okay. Don't want to have mushrooms in the wild for too long because they do prevent more from spawning through the pipe. Actually going surprisingly well so far. Oh, nope, that's a miss. Okay. Well, these are rather close calls in terms of timing yourself around Bowser's hop. There we go. No problem. And Lemmy's going to block the gate because Lemmy is just that kind of guy. Oh, except he's going to roll off, so let's just take this as a bonus room. Grab everything we can here. Before we just go ahead and off him out of the way. And grab the axe. While colliding with him directly. And yeah, Terminator, we'll take a look at your list. Hard to keep track of which ones I have or haven't cleared in your longer running series. And then you can kind of look over that for reference. Let's mark that as a win. Yeah, we're actually going to have a bit of an earlier ending than usual today, but some of these I might have tested in early versions, but I don't think I played this one. We did pretty much all of the Yoshi series now. And you know what, Terminator? Stick around for just a moment. Yeah, so we were missing Living on the Edge of 19 and 17. And I think there were some that I tried but didn't clear earlier on in the series. Yeah, I remember I didn't clear 11. I know I'm speeding through this very quickly, but I'm sure you can look at this over the video and see what we didn't actually manage to beat. So, we did most of the early anti-Master Sword stuff, and probably nothing before that. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have gone that early. So hopefully that helps. Since you're here, Terminator, and since we have just a little bit of extra time before I should log off for today, let's just finish the Yoshi series. This is a high clear rate, it's fairly short, let's just do it. And once again, thank you so much for the sub. We'll just kind of pull this in to make up for some of the sub-queue skips that we didn't manage to circulate over to you earlier. We'll just run it as a bit of a bonus and just finish the stream on this. Okay, same idea maybe, except this time we have this old classic. Luckily we don't have to do much escorting here, as Yoshi just decides to do the level the standard way without taking any of the pipes along the way or doing anything too different. We do need to escort him across here though. And is he going to get the flag? Yeah, he's going to just work his way down. 25% clear rate on this, so a lot of people missed the on-off switch. Clearly. Well, nice way to wrap that series. Okay, at this point, we're probably going to call it. This has been one of my shorter viewer level streams, but we went way too long yesterday. I had like a 5-hour stream yesterday, and so maybe things will balance out and I can actually log off for a bit for once. Like I said, viewer levels do regularly return in this slot and the day before. Anybody fairly new to this? We tend to post plans on a Discord, and for the midweek streams this week, we will probably be back to doing more Maker puzzles after having spent the last few weeks doing indie games instead. There might be some last-minute changes of plan, but whatever, we'll kind of take it day to day and see if we can deliver some interesting content to keep this game lively. In the meantime, thank you so much for all of the time and attention that you've given this stream today, and especially to everybody who submitted for the levels that either you or your friends or your favorite makers created. We'll be sending you on to a raid very shortly. And I think I know who we'll pick this time, but just give me a moment to just check out my options. For the time being, though, and even Gorilla, welcome. You came in right at the end. We're just about to send you folks off. In the meantime, thank you for watching. We will be back with more Mario Maker soon enough. And have a good night, or good morning, or whatever the appropriate greeting is in your time zone at this time of day. And see you soon. Fare thee well.